to Yurcak Field in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's a beautiful night for soccer. Certainly not the tsunami like last year when these teams met. Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Alvarado alongside Dan Lawletta. Sky Blue FC hosting the Seattle Reign today. Sky Blue in a little bit of a funk, dropping their last two, most recently against Chicago 1-0. And Seattle Reign coming off of a very convincing win against the Washington Spirit. They currently stand at 4th place at 2-2, while Sky Blue are in 7th place in the standing at 1-2-1. So Dan, what are your expectations going in today's game?
Well, first off, no one who was here for the game last year when it was torrential from warm-ups to post-game will ever forget that experience. As for today, Sky Blue a lot better last week, even though they lost. They mostly held Kristen Press in check. They were pretty good defensively, although Jim Gabera wasn't thrilled with the effort on the Red Stars' goal. But they need to build the ball up better and not turn the ball over to the Seattle midfield. Jim thinks that's where this game will be decided, in the Sky Blue defensive midfield. And for the Reign, 2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road, so no away points. And they're actually 1-4-1 away from Seattle, dating back to July 12th. So they'll be looking to take some of that home form and bring it here to Yurcak tonight.
Now, I did have the chance to catch up with Sky Blue FC head coach Jim Gabera just on the adjustments they've been working on in practice. To get better.
Well, I think we got better from the Washington game. We were a lot better defensively, and the players executed the game plan to perfection, and we didn't let Hoy and Press get in behind us. We kind of had a little bit of a letdown on the goal and on the corner kick where we failed to clear it and didn't really sacrifice our bodies to block the shot. But I was happy with the progress we made from Washington, and we got Haley and Taylor good minutes and got them integrated into the lineup.
Can you talk about Taylor? It was her first start back after her ACL injury last year, and just how she's integrated herself into the lineup?
Yeah, she always finds it easy to integrate back in. I mean, she's such an important player for us. She's so good in tight spaces and turning and running at the other team's back four, and I think that's eventually going to help us create more scoring opportunities.
What are some plans going into the game to stop Seattle today? They obviously have huge weapons in Kim Little, Yanez, Fishlock.
Yeah, we have to be very aware of their movement in midfield, and Little and Fishlock and Goebel and the interchange of them. So we're gonna probably be a little more zonal in there and make sure that when they do get the ball, it's a little farther away from the middle part of the field.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Available now for purchase at the Sky Blue FC tent on the stadium concourse.
Now, one of the biggest issues with Sky Blue this season has been providing scoring opportunities, especially getting the ball up to Nadia and Nadim. So just talk about the adjustments that Sky Blue needs to make to get Nadia and Nadim more involved up top.
Well, like we said, they need to build the ball up. They need to pass the ball out of pressure, move off the ball to create passing lanes, and just keep Seattle's defending off balance. If Sky Blue's holding the ball too long or giving it away too easily, it allows the Reign to maintain shape. A bit of a shape change in the lineup tonight for Sky Blue. Haley Hagsman will move up and play a holding midfield position in a 4-3-3. Meg Morris will be at right back, and Taylor Lytle and Shauna Gordon will be up top, trying to provide support up there for Nadim. They'll both drop into defensive roles, into midfield roles, when they go into their defensive shape. So we'll see if that has any impact for Sky Blue tonight.
Now over to the Seattle Reign. Dan, you did have the chance to catch up with head coach Laura Harvey.
Yep, let's hear that. Dan Lawletta with Seattle Reign head coach Laura Harvey. Laura, such a special season last year with only the 2 losses. A little bit of an average start to this season. How is this team different so far from what happened last year?
I think the reality is the places we struggled the most was probably Chicago and Kansas, and to get them so early and so close together was always going to be difficult. They're always difficult places for us to go, so I'm not sure it's a true reflection of our team at the minute, but I think obviously our home form is what you always pride yourselves on, but we need to try and put a positive result on the road today. So that's something we've been focusing on for this week.
Haley Koppmeyer is your goalkeeper. She's undefeated in 5 starts from last season. And for those who are not familiar with her, filling in while Hope Solo's with the U.S. national team, what kind of a goalkeeper is Haley Koppmeyer?
Very similar, actually. I think she's trained with Hope now for 2 years and learnt loads from her. She is calm, collected, knows what she wants, knows that she doesn't get fazed by the environment or the occasion at all. She's athletic, she can throw, she can kick, she sets tempo for us, she can play, and she's our ideal replacement for Hope because they are similar in a lot of things that they do.
Laura, thanks. Good luck today.
Now, obviously, big news. All the teams in the NWSL are without their national team players. Sky Blue without Kelly O'Hara and Chrissy Rampone, and Seattle Reign without Megan Rapinoe and Hope Solo. So in goal for Hope Solo is Haley Kottmeyer, so she has some pretty big shoes to fill.
She does, and you heard Laura Harvey just now speak about her in glowing terms. And Kottmeyer made her debut against Sky Blue in 2013. She gave up 3 goals, also saved Elisa Devan a penalty in that game. And she was later released when Hope Solo joined the team after being injured. But Laura Harvey said, look, hang around the team. We'll see what happens. Last year, she was fully rostered, started 4 matches for Hope Solo, did not lose, had 2 shutouts, gave up only 1 goal in the other 2 matches. And she was in goal and looked very good last week against Washington. So I hesitate to say the Reign won't miss a beat without Hope Solo in there. That's ambitious speaking, but I think Haley Kottmeyer is a very solid backup with a bright future, and I don't believe it'll be too much of a problem, especially behind 4 defenders who are solid. They're the same 4 that have been there since April of 2014.
Now today is certainly a key game for both these sides. So Dan, what are the key to both teams' successes today?
Well, again, for Sky Blue, it's just not turning the ball over in their defensive part of the field and not pressing, because they are 1-2-1 now, so you don't want to fall too far behind. Remember how good they were last season in July and August and whatnot, and you don't want to be playing from behind throughout the entire season and just needing to be desperate for points. But they've got to keep the ball and let Nadia Nadim do her magic. The novelty of Nadia Nadim, I believe, has worn off for the league. For Seattle, just do what they do, which is turn the ball over in midfield, counterattack, and make runs that keep the Sky Blue defending off balance, because every player on Seattle will make a run into the box at some point, and that's very difficult to defend when it's working.
Now, before we go into lineups, I want to give a shout out to FC Kansas City forward Sarah Hagan. She is 10 years cancer-free this week. Sarah, congratulations and hats off to you. We're in for a good match tonight. Seattle Reign versus Sky Blue FC. Stay with us.
Banwood Soccer Club and Edison United Soccer Association. Sky Blue FC partner clubs enjoy special pricing, player escort, and ball Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet this evening's starting lineups. First for the visiting Seattle Reign FC. In goal, number 28, Haley Koppmeyer. On defense, number 3, Lauren Barnes. On defense, number 7, Ellie Reed. In the midfield, number 8, Kim Little. At forward, number 9, Merritt Mathias. In the midfield, number 10, Jess Fishlock. In the midfield, number 11, Keelan Winters. On defense, number 13, Kendall Fletcher. On defense, number 14, Stephanie Cox. At forward, number 17, Beverly Yanez. And finally at forward, number 25, Kirsten Dahlstream. The head coach of Seattle Reign FC is Laura Harvey. She's assisted by Sam Lady and Benjamin Dragavon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the starting lineup for Sky Blue FC. In goal, number 1, Brittany Cameron. In the midfield, number 2, Shauna Gordon. In the midfield, number 6, Taylor Lytle. At forward, number 9, Nadia Nadim. In the midfield, number 10, Katie Friel. On defense, number 13, Kristen Grubka. In the midfield, number 14, Sarah Killian. On defense, number 17, Haley Hogsma. On defense, number 18, Lindsay Kutzall. On defense, number 22, Annie Levin. And on defense, number 32, Meg Morris. The Sky Blue starting lineup is presented by Meridian Health. The head coach of Sky Blue FC is Jim Guevara. He's assisted by Erwin Van Bennekom and Christy Holly. Sky Blue FC athletic trainers are Sue Penrod and Dan Traszewski. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor the United States of America with the singing of our national anthem. Presenting the flags tonight is Girl Scout Troop 60633, and performing our national anthem this evening is Michelle French.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
and Michelle French. Tonight's referee is Matthew J. Kreitzer. The assistant referees are Joseph Zawiskowski and Logan Brown. The fourth official is Ernie Constantine. A special thank you to the Manalapan Soccer Club who provided tonight's ball girls.
And welcome to the Sky Blue broadcast of Seattle Rain at Sky Blue. I'm Charlie Flo, joined by Dan Laletta. Beautiful night. The sun just popped out about an hour ago, so usually Seattle brings the rain.
They do. Last season they had a very memorable match here that we referenced on the pregame where it literally was a torrential downpour from the time I got here until well after leaving. No lightning, so they played the match, but it was certainly memorable conditions for anybody who was involved. That was a 2-0 win for Seattle. That did include a goal where Jill Lloyden kind of slipped on the wet field, and Naomi Kawasumi was there to finish it off. Neither one of those players will be on field tonight, though.
Yeah, definitely a factor in the last game with the ball play not as good, but tonight it's a little bit of a damp field, a little bit soft, a little crabgrass popping up here, but the ball's going to play pretty smooth tonight.
It certainly should. Yurcak looking a little bit maybe more weather-worn than we've seen it, but certainly one of the fields that gets praised the most throughout NWSL. So it should be a smooth match in that regard, though. For Sky Blue, you have to wonder if they wouldn't mind the match turning a little bit more ugly, and instead of letting Seattle do all their counter-attacking and making their dynamic runs from midfield and defense and getting so many scoring chances.
Yeah, let's hope that Sky Blue has the advantage, if you're a Sky Blue fan, because they do have the grass situation. Seattle has played on grass, but they're used to playing on turf, so that may be a factor. But the way some of the ball play is and some of the speed, we'll see how it all plays out tonight.
And more importantly, a shape change for Sky Blue going back to the 4-3-3. Haley Hagsma will come off the right back spot, and she'll be the holding midfielder. Meg Morris is back in as the right back, and Taylor Lytle and Shauna Gordon will act more as forwards, at least in the offensive shape, to try to get a little support and take some pressure off of Nadia and Nadim. But the key will be moving the ball through the midfielder. It won't matter who or how many people are up front.
Yeah, and Seattle's going to go with a 4-3-3-2 as well. They're going to have Reed in the back, Cox in the back, Fletcher in the back, Barnes in the back, and then up in the midfield, Winters, Fishlock, and Little, and up top, Dahlstrom, Yanez, and Matthias.
And that's pretty much the lineup that they've used throughout the season. Megan Rapinoe and Hope Solo are the only exceptions, having lost them for the World Cup. But Laura Harvey said she wished more of her players were going to the World Cup, but I think she'll take it, the fact that they're pretty much intact, and it's a pretty good team, 16-2-6 in the regular season last year. So that's a pretty good team. Came back mostly intact, and the World Cup keeps them mostly intact.
Yeah, any team that's got Fishlock or Little in the lineup is going to have a chance, but when you put them both together, sitting right over the center circle right now, they have a chance to win.
And one note on Fishlock, she did turn her ankle a little bit last week in Washington. It didn't stop her from scoring later on, but as you found out, she did get a little work on it this week, but was not on the injury report and is in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's definitely, as a coach, putting her out to some of the soft grass isn't as big a risk as a turf, so definitely not going to keep her out because of that.
And we'll keep an eye on her, one of the most active players anywhere in NWSL.
Yeah, she's going to make me tired just watching her.
Absolutely. She's always around the ball, too.
We are underway. Seattle's in their road whites. Sky Blues in their home blues. Sky Blues on the left going to your right, and Seattle's in white going from your right to your left. Early challenge on with Gordon of the ball. It's back to Morris. Krupka over to Cutsall. Another interesting fact that, that it could be a factor. I hate to play the number game, but when Kim Little scores, Seattle is unbeaten.
Well, that's a very good statistic. What I say about Kim Little is that it doesn't always matter how often she scores or how many chances she creates. When the ball goes to Kim Little's feet, I would say 90 to 95% of the time, Seattle Reign are in a better position after it leaves her foot than when it got there. And that takes its toll on an opposition. Watch her touches, always moving forward with the ball, very rarely a mistake or a turnover.
Yeah, she delivers stuff on a platter for players. It's a long ball in. Putting chase to it, Meg Morris creating pressure. Let it ride out. Goal kick, Sky Blue.
And it's the third game in a row with three different right backs in the last 3 games. Cammie Levin started the season there and has moved over to the left side. Haley Hagsma did it in Chicago, and now Meg Morris, who was a left-sided player first game of the season, here she is at right back.
Yeah, look for Morris and Levin to push up a lot of the wing and contribute with a little central attack cross type of deal.
And Sky Blue will need to keep themselves moving, create passing lanes, pass out of pressure, and not hold the ball too long in midfield.
It's deflected wide, put in by Seattle. Matthias on chase. Matthias in the corner, pressured by Morris. Matthias misplays the ball. Hogman recovers, deflected out by Little.
And you can see that defensively, Charlie, Nadim hanging back around the circle, but everybody else for Sky Blue is back defending, including Gordon and Lytle.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of respect on her. They have, looks like they've got 2 to 3 players kind of keeping a close eye on her, and she's sitting right at the halfway field, just ready to break. Fishlock on challenge, Grubka Shields, and that's out. Looks like we're going to have our first corner kick of the match for Seattle. Little on for the shortest Cox. Seattle with 4 players in the box, played over to Cox. Cox plays the ball into Little and deflected out by Little. It's like a little miscommunication here on the corner kick.
And Cox played it just a little bit too hard. And that allowed Sky Blue to recover and out off Seattle.
Please return it immediately to the ball runners on the field. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the match.
Cameron indecisive with her goal kick. Like she might just have to play a long ball here. Long ball away. Friels, Fishlock on it. Matthias down. Gordon recovers. Gordon over Friels. Friels plays a wide ball over to Levin.
Matthias stayed down there for a moment, but is now back up. Seems okay.
Levin back with possession. Back over to the Taylor Lytle, which is her home debut. She made her first start last week in Chicago. It's good to see her back in the lineup, making her home debut tonight.
Sure is. It was Mother's Day last year that she got injured, and it'll be Mother's Day tomorrow, so almost a full year out of commission for Taylor Lytle.
Over to Morris. Morris taps it out. Cox back for the throw-in. Over to Barnes, to Fishlock. Fishlock plays a white-footed pass over to, I almost called her Goebel, but I did call her Goebel. I knew I'd slip up.
Well, it'll happen.
Yeah. So Yanez, now known as Yanez, last year, Goebel. Might as well get it out of the way early.
And she's a very key player for this team with Rapinoe at the World Cup and Kawasumi not back. Goebel last year, Yanez this year, drafted originally by Jim Gabera in that incredible 2010 WPS draft. Went to Japan, really kind of found herself and her game there, and now she's a very key player up top for the Reign.
Yeah, she's a very key player. She's got 3 goals in 4 games, so she is tied with Rapinoe for the leading scorer, but with Rapinoe at the World Cup, she's got to step her game up and put in goals.
And she got one last week at her first go-round with it.
Kutzall, challenged by Little. Turnover. Little recovers. Little makes a nifty move, plays a cross into the box. Overhit all of her players. Meg Morris got a lot of room on the wing.
Sky Blue dodged the bullet there. That was a poor turnover.
Little short plate over, intercepted by Cox. Over to Yanez. Yanez battling in the box with Sarah Killian. Meg Morris with a neat pushback, puts it back to Grubka. It's over to Grubka. Morris. Hogsma plays a long ball, overhits Gordon. Kottmeyer settles. Played wide. Fishlock. And goes out for a Seattle throw-in.
Neither team in too much of a hurry early, 7th minute, and both teams seem content to feel each other out.
Yeah, we had a little bit of physicality in the first few moments of the game, Dan, but now it's just, like you said, they're feeling each other out. We've got a long cross over to Cox. Fishlock recovers. Fishlock with a long ball in. Headed out. Morse. Right-footed clearance. Barnes goes up for it with Nadim. Fishlock into Little. Little over to Mathias. Mathias with a couple step-over moves in the box. Looking for the left-footed cross. Deflected. Morse recovers. Gordon for Nadim. It's in the box for Fishlock. Shot saved by Cameron. And there's our first shot on goal, saved by Cameron.
That's a good save. It was a good help job by Kristen Grubka to help Meg Morris get out of trouble there. But again, a turnover, and that left the defense out of position, and Fishlock got the shot off, and a very good save by Cameron. Now Sky Blue has to defend the corner.
Wasn't a lot of pace on it, but it was very well placed. That was going lower 90. Kim Little and Cox short. Seattle with 4 players in box, and Fishlock kind of hanging out in the corner.
And Sky Blue with a couple defenders up right over the corner, too.
Played in by Little. Headed in. Just deflected off the line by Killian. Still 0-0.
Grubka and Killian, the 2 young players who have struggled a bit. Jim Gabera calls them typical rookie struggles, but they both came up big here in the last couple minutes, especially that Killian shot. That was heading in.
Yeah, definitely thrown to the fire early in the season. They've started every game for Sky Blue, and they're rising to the occasion. And just right there, Killian saves it off the line to keep it 0-0. And we have a foul against Seattle. It looks like that was on Winners.
And both those players were top 10 picks. Charlie Killian, number 2, behind Morgan Bryan, and Grubka, number 10, first pick of the second round in the draft back in January.
Nadim on. Puts the ball in wide to Lytle. Lytle with space. Lytle plays a left foot across, in. Kicked out. Killian and Winners on the challenge. Yanez and Levin a little battling early. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher over to Barnes. Over to Little. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher plays a ball in. Stays in. Levin plays a ball. Friels heads it over. Actually, that was Friels, taken down. A lot of traffic. Seattle maintaining possession. Hogsma dispossesses. Played wide by Killian. Lytle plays a long ball. Koppmeyer looking to clear it. Put it off the line by Koppmeyer. Winners. It's like Seattle trying to slow the pace up here, and Sky Blue's pressing hard.
Go back to that nice midfield win by Hogsma. That's exactly what she's supposed to do in that holding midfield position. Sky Blue may want to be reacting a little bit quicker and getting some more numbers up to allow a counterattack. Either that or the midfield needs to be a bit more patient. But I think Sky Blue, the key for them will be creating lanes and moving the ball quickly.
And there's Barnes looking for her help. Left-footed pass back to Fletcher. Winners just crossing the midfield, makes a pass over. Little light pass in. Right footed cross in. Cutsall grabs it. Cutsall with a step over. Plays it over to Cameron in the box. And Cameron clears. Back to Cutsall. Just over Lytle's head for a Seattle throw-in.
And you can already see that Kim Little is not afraid to go anywhere on the field. She was collecting the ball off her back line a few minutes ago and has already been part of a couple of scoring chances for Seattle in the attacking third.
Barn pushes up. Plays it into Mathias. Back to Fishlock. Over to Little. Little wide to Cox. Cox will left foot a ball in. Fishlock with a flicker. Pressure on. Levin clears. Killian recovers. Over to Lytle. Back to Killian. Back to Lytle. And long ball by Killian. Covered by Nadim. Plays over to Friels. Gordon. Gordon with space. Plays it over to Friels. Killian. Lytle. Back over to Killian. Sky Blue hits the reset. Back to Cutsall. Cutsall with a long left-footed ball in. And Cox heads it back over to Kopmeyer.
Too much possession for it to end like that, wouldn't you say? A little bit too easy off the hook there for Seattle, chasing for a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, Sky Blue was pushing and pushing and pushing and tried to hit the reset button and just put a ball into the box that turned up to right back to the keeper. Winters. Over to Barnes. Barnes with a long ball. Overplays all of her players. It's going to roll out for a Sky Blue throw-in. Thrown by Meg Morris. Mathias gets up. Meg Morris back to Cameron. Cameron plays the ball over to Levin. Just over Dahlstream's head. Levin back. Over to Friels. Gordon plays a wide ball to Morris, which she keeps in. Great effort to keep it in.
I don't know if Morris was not supposed to make that run or if it was just a poorly hit ball, but Morris was way ahead of that play and salvaged possession, which Sky Blue still has now on the other side of the pitch.
Lytle with moves, going towards the box. Nadim plays it into Levin. Levin in the box, and that's kicked out.
And there's a little bit of what Sky Blue can and should be able to do. Morris saves it. They switch the point of attack, and they get Nadim the ball in a position where she can make something happen. There were too many times in Chicago last week and even against Washington that when Nadim had the ball, there were already 3 defenders around her. That means somebody's open somewhere. But Sky Blue wasn't able to find those players enough. But that was some good soccer right there.
Yeah, must have taken a deflection. I didn't see it from all the way up here. We are a good 100 yards away, but Sky Blue gets back possession. Nadim in the box. She takes a little flicker. Flag was up. Luckily, Dan is my other set of eyes in here. I was watching the play, not the referee.
There's nothing that'll fool a sports crowd more, I don't think, than a goal scored at a soccer match with the flag up.
Yeah, it got me. So still 0-0 here. We are in the 15th minute with Sky Blue hosting Seattle Reign.
All in all, though, I think Sky Blue should be pleased with the first quarter hour and certainly with the last 4 or 5 minutes.
I think the biggest thing is when you play a team like Seattle, you want to keep them off the board at least the first 30 minutes and not get into this vacuum suction thing of them scoring right and left, because they have scored 10 goals early, and we've seen them just unleash fury on teams.
And a troubling statistic for Sky Blue, 9 teams in the league, 6 of the 9 have scored at least 2 goals in a match. 6 of the 9 have scored at least 3 goals in a match. 8 of the 9 have scored at least 2 goals in a match. Well, guess who that 9th team is that has yet to score more than 1 goal?
That would be Sky Blue. Their most output is 1 goal, and that was in their first 3 games. Been shut out their last 2 games. Actually, their last game they were shut out 1-0.
You don't go into a game thinking about what happens when you concede a goal, but how many times can you beat Seattle by only scoring 1 time?
And that's Gordon with the interception. Still a live ball for anyone. Winters gets possession, plays it over to Fishlock. Fishlock on the move, plays it wide. Dahlstream looking for her help. Got Little. Little's in the box. Little plays across. Cutsall keeps it out for a corner. This will be the first corner kick for Seattle on the far side of the field. But looks like Kim Little will be taking this one as well. And Cox running over for short ball support.
They took 2 over on the near side, 1 short, 1 long. Neither one created too much of a problem for Sky Blue, but I've never been a big fan of the short corner, but certainly it is attracting defensive players.
And Seattle has 6 players in the box this time. Played over to Fishlock, but it's going to be intercepted by Killian. Killian double teamed. Looks like there's going to be a foul on Little. Just an incidental bump, but referee blows the whistle.
And the early word on Sarah Killian, this is now her 5th professional match. She works as hard as anybody on the field. She was a couple of bad giveaways last week against Chicago, but she was all over that midfield. And again, saw the poor ball played by the Rain and was right on it, turned it upfield and won a foul.
Now, Killian's the reason why we're at 0-0. She saved the ball right on the goal line to keep it 0-0. So definitely rising to occasion tonight. Meg Morris receives, passes over to midfield with Katie Friels. Takes a little poor touch on the first, and Fishlock recovers. Winners. Rough challenge, but ref plays on. Cox over to Fishlock. Fishlock with a long ball in to Kim Little, just out of her reach. Cameron gobbles it up. Quick throw over to Lytle.
I would say, Charlie, this is not going to be a night where you can buy yourself a free kick by going down. It looks like
No.
the small stuff's definitely being let go.
Little backheel nifty flick by Levin. Sky Blues off to the races. Got numbers approaching the box. Looking for help. Played in 11. Going to be just too long for a goal kick.
Hey fans, if you're looking
That was one of Sky Blue's better build-ups. They had numbers and they were moving towards the box.
Stop by the Olive Garden in Piscataway. Great food, a great atmosphere, and professional friendly service located just minutes.
And that's
from
over to
Yurcak
Barnes, back to
Field
Cox.
On Centennial Drive. Check out the Olive Garden in Piscataway.
Play over to Fletcher. Fletcher plays it wide.
And on behalf of all of our friends at the Olive Garden and
Long ball over.
UFC, we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to our very own John Archibald. John Archibald celebrating his birthday with us tonight, as he is every night with Sky Blue FC. Send John Archibald a happy birthday tweet at Sky Blue FC.
There you heard it, our communications guy, John Archibald's birthday today. We won't say how old he is on the broadcast.
Sure, he's overjoyed to have that information out in public now.
There you go, fans. Over to Cutsall. Plays over to Levin. With the bright orange boots, can't miss her tonight. Cutsall with a nifty stop move, plays it back to Cameron. And momentarily, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Brittany Alvarado, with some updates. We'll have her on momentarily. And that's over to Lytle. Played over to Friels. Grubka handles. Right-footed pass over to Morris. Morris maintains. Looks over at Gordon. Gordon with a nifty backheel flick to herself. Maintains possession. Played over to Lytle. Lytle one-time pass to Friels. Friels puts the ball and it's intercepted by Seattle's Fletcher. Hogsma back to Cameron. We've noticed a very, very physical game to start the game, but teams are kind of slowing up their tempo. What have you seen down there, Brittany?
Here on my end, as you did see with Seattle, there was that goal seemed like it was going in, but Sarah Killian stepped in, made a big defensive save for Sky Blue. As far as Sky Blue, obviously Nadia Nadim, everyone thought that was a goal, but she was just slightly offside. Would have been a huge boost for Sky Blue, but so far just a possession battle, and it seems like Seattle is dominating that so far. Back up to you guys.
That's Brittany Alvarado. Thank you for your insight there, Brittany. She definitely had a better view of that ball on the goal line that Killian kicked out, because from our angle, we couldn't exactly see how close it was, but definitely the difference in the game right now, and like you said about the Nadim offside goal that was called off. So right now we're at 0-0. We are in the 21st minute. With Dan Lilletta, I'm Charlie Flo, and thank you everybody for tuning in. It's a cross into the box. Sails over for a goal kick. Definitely also want to comment on the fans. This is probably the biggest crowd we've had so far. Stands are getting full tonight.
Certainly is. Nice to see some folks out. Hopefully, or maybe they remember what happened last year when the Rain were here. Although the Rain did come back later on last season. And actually, Sky Blue played one of their best halves of the first part of the season. Yeah, but gave it up in the second half, and Seattle won it. Sky Blue played very well all season against Seattle. They went out to Memorial Stadium and came back with a scoreless draw that most people, myself included, believe Sky Blue probably had the better of the play.
Yeah, that's one thing about Sky Blue with Jim Cabrera. He's very good at organizing his defense. He's done a great job of shutting down some of these high-profile players. So right now we're seeing him, keeping the attack at a minimum.
I tweeted out an interesting stat about FC Kansas City has now had 4 different streaks of 3 consecutive shutouts since the league started in 2013. The other 8 teams have 1 combined, but that one was Sky Blue streak in 2013. 4 straight games, 435 minutes without conceding a goal back when they were pacing the table the first part of 2013.
Yeah, 2013 was a very good first half for them. They still got into the playoffs and eventually lost as the 4 seed to the Flash, who hosted the final and lost the final to Portland. But very good team defensively, and that's one thing Jim Bear has done. He's brought in some really good defensive-minded players.
He has, and the next phase obviously will be to start with the post-Christy Rampone plan. As you probably know, she'll be 40 during the World Cup. I don't think that's about the worst-kept secret.
Yeah, her birth certificate says 40, but let's in actuality, she plays about like a 27-year-old. And that's a ball in by Lytle. Played wide to Killian. Killian's cornered. Plays it back to Levin. Levin puts the ball in. Headed out. Little recovering. Pressure on. Over to Fishlock. Played wide to Cox. Cox plays over to Matthias. Matthias back to Winner. Winners.
One more note on Rampone there. The Twitter buzz right before first kick was that Jill Ellis had informed Julie Johnston that she would be the starter in central defense over Christy Rampone when the World Cup starts. So looks like it'll be a very different World Cup, especially to start for Rampone.
That's over to Cox. Cox with a left-footed ball in, right outside the box. Matthias with the ball. Matthias plays it back to Cox. Misjudges the ball. Goes out for a Sky Blue throw-in. Yeah, we've seen some lineups like that in World Cups and in Olympic play that sometimes the lineup maybe gets shaken up after the first game, maybe an injury, and it reminds me of the Shannon Box. She gets injured and Carly comes in and has an unbelievable Olympics.
And it's up to 7 games now for the first time if you're going to be in the semifinals and then play championship weekend. So,
yeah, with the knockout stage being moved up to 16 instead of 8, it's definitely going to be a much more interesting World Cup. I mean, adding the additional 8 teams is going to be interesting to see as well, too.
Yeah, the teams, they're the best athletes in the world, and I don't have any doubt that a good number of them can go all 7 matches, but I don't think you'll see too many teams get to the quarterfinals and beyond exactly the way their coaches envision it.
No, not at all. Fishlock with ball. Plays back to Barnes. Barnes with a cross. Fletcher plays wide. Reed and Chase. Winners. Back to Fletcher. Reed over to Fishlock. Fishlock loses possession. Grubka right there. Over hits Gordon. It's going to roll out for a Seattle throw-in. Cox back to Barnes. Gordon with some light pressure. Seattle slowing the tempo up here, looking to set their offense. Barnes over to Yanez. Yanez at the center line. Plays a ball wide to Fletcher. Fletcher plays a ball into the box. Gobbled up by Cameron. Rolled out to Morris. Morris has got a steam in front of her. Head of steam, long ball over to Nadeem. Maintains possession. Long hit ball. Referee's flags up.
Well, that last sequence by Brittany Cameron, very good man marking by Grubka and Kutzall, the defensive center back pairing for Sky Blue. Really, there was nothing there. The ball kind of split them and went right into Cameron, but both of the Reign attackers were very well marked on that play.
Over to Winners at the center circle. Winners pushing it. Over to Yanez. Cox. Gordon on challenge. play on. Fishlock. Back to Barnes.
I don't see how that is not a foul for holding up Gordon's opportunity to go back and play that ball again.
Yeah, I was very surprised that the whistle stayed in the referee's pocket on that one. Fletcher plays it wide. Back to Fletcher. She plays a right-footed ball in. Grubka goes up, heads it out.
Fishlock's not an easy player to win a ball in the air from.
Hogsma gets taken down. Bounces right back up.
Fans visit
Cox.
NWSL
Back to Barnes.
for all of your
Winners to
league
Barnes.
information, team standings, and more. That's NWSLsoccer.com.
The Reign are playing this match, Charlie, like they have supreme confidence that they've got another hour and a little bit more, and they'll find a goal. It might not be this time up the field, but they're playing with an awful lot of confidence. Like they're content to knock it around, and eventually they'll find their opportunity and put it away.
Yeah, Laura Harvey does a great job in coaching this. There's a reason why she was Coach of the Year and FIFA Coach of the Year, that she knows what she's doing, and she can sell these players on being patient, waiting for those opportunities and then try to exploit a team.
And like she told me back in preseason, in 2014, Plan A worked pretty much all the time, and that's how you finish 16-2-6. And it also builds confidence going forward if Plan A maybe doesn't work.
And definitely a remarkable season. They were runners-up to Kansas City.
Tough way to go out, especially for Laura Harvey was saying that for a coach who comes from England as she does, the hardest thing is realizing the playoff structure. It's just not something that European fans grow up with. And
that's something us Americans are used to. It just doesn't matter in NWSL. If you're 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, you have just as great a chance to win the cup.
Certainly a fantastic accomplishment, though, to win the Shield, finish first.
And that was a good ball in by Fishlock, but Grubka just put her foot on it.
And to be honest, it's a regular season that will be very difficult to ever match. 16 wins, only 2 defeats, and 6 draws.
Hogsman the ball over to Meg Morris, deflected out by Cox. Matthias maintains possession. And that's the thing, too, is you have the advantage that you don't need to worry about being undefeated in the regular season. Seattle has their 2 losses. Not a big deal. It's just a matter of weathering the storm of the regular season, getting the playoffs, and hit the reset button.
And one of the keys, and you see it in MLS, and we don't want to take the conversation there too much, but the LA Galaxy have kind of perfected the art of being at their best.
Yeah, they only play good ball in September? September and October.
When the playoffs roll around. So that is part of getting through an NWSL season, is trying to peak when the playoffs come. Jim Gabarra said last year after the final game, hey, we did what we were supposed to do. We're peaking for the playoffs. We just lost too many games early. We didn't get in.
Yeah, so they would have been definitely a scary team had they made the playoffs. And especially a season like this where you have a lot of players that are going to be missing for international World Cup appearances, that you're going to lose games, but it's how many points you can pick up in situation. Jess Fishlock on chase. Jess Fishlock with a ball that Cameron gobbles up. Great save by Cameron.
It's a good save, and I think that's Cutsall in there who knocked it away for the potential rebound.
And Cutsall with a ball out that Fishlock was honing on.
That was a mismatch. Somehow it was Fishlock on Katie Friels at the top of the 18. That's not a matchup that will favor Sky Blue defensively.
We have Cox sitting on the throw-in. Plays it over to Yanez. Cleared out. Over to Yanez. Back over to Cox. Plays it over to Matthias. Matthias looking for help. Step over move. Matthias going down the line. Gordon staying very tight on her. Barnes over to Little. Little plays over to Fishlock. Right up top of the box. Fishlock looking for a cranker. Lays it off. Played into Little. A lot of pressure by Friels. Friels ended up deflecting it. Lytle loses touch. That's a long by Levin just to bail the team out for a moment. Over to Little. Plays it over to Reed. Reed to Fishlock. Barnes has got a streaking Cox. Cox maintains. Gordon with great pressure. Steals the ball. Friels. Overplays Nadim. Kottmeyer plays it wide over to Fletcher. Played back over to Barnes. Headed out by Levin. Kim Little wins the challenge. Kim Little with a head of steam. Plays it into Matthias. Just overhits it. Cameron easily catches. Cameron settling everybody down.
Hey, Sky Blue FC fans, be sure to visit
Over to Killian.
Atkins.com to register for Christy Rampone's Youth Girls
Levin.
Soccer Camp. It'll be held July 20th to the 23rd.
Levin overhits the ball. It's going to roll out for a throw into Seattle. Or maybe not.
At the Cross Farm Field after returning home and participating.
Just stayed a throw in.
Just barely.
Ball had any English on it, it would have been a goal kick.
This can be a pretty dangerous situation to have to face a throw-in so deep in your own area. We
Yes.
need to see more Sky Blue players making runs and more activity. Give the player with the ball more options.
Played out. Fishlock. Fisher plays it long over to Yennes.
And that's a real good job navigating out of that corner by the rain.
11 pressing hard. Cuts all. Wide ball over to Morris. Morris over to Gordon. Gordon chips it over to Killian. Fishlock pokes it away. Fishlock over to Little. Little's got a lot of space in front of her. Meg Morris in pursuit, slows her down. Back to Cox.
No panic in Kim Little.
None whatsoever. She shields it and plays it back. Seattle maintain possession. Yennes wide. Just overhit to Reed. Cami Levin with the throw-in. Over to Cutsall. Cameron plays wide to Grubka. Another one of the rookies we've talked about that has been thrown into the fire. Definitely a player with the experience of winning a national title at Florida State. Kind of adds to your resume, gives you a little stock value going into the draft.
It's always better to be around a winning culture than any sort of other culture. Doesn't mean you'll make it at the next level, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
Sky Blue putting numbers on Kim Little, but always that she does is dumps it back harmlessly. Fishlock, wide over to Cox. Cox plays the ball over to Matthias. Merritt Matthias with a couple step overs, a couple crosses. Dispossessed by Meg Morris. Morris with the ball over to Friels. Friels with a back heel flipper. And we've got a foul on Yennes. Fouls on Gordon. Fouled Gordon in the play.
A rare foul in the first 35. Unfortunately for the home side, not really in a dangerous position. You see Cameron's going to come up and take it.
Notice that Killian was doing a little bit of barking at the referee there. Back to Cutsall. Back to Killian. Gets out of trouble. 11 wide. Step over stop. And back to Cameron for the reset. Garker with the ball in. Barnes on the challenge. Seattle get possession.
Nadim was one-on-one there, but there were three other Seattle backs were perfectly positioned and no Sky Blue players anywhere close. So even if Nadim had taken that ball down with her head and won it, there was really not a Sky Blue player around to win the next ball.
A lot of tackling going on near the center line. The ref says play on. Laura Harvey was putting her hands up there wanting some type of call. Right now they're just playing ball. Grubka over to Morris. Morris to Hogsma. Hogsma to Friels. Long left-footed cross over to Levin. Levin plays it over to Lytle. Lytle just outside the box. Lytle being pressured by Reed. Back over to Levin. Levin plays the ball in. He's going to roll out for a goal kick to Seattle. And that's wide. Winners. Turnover. Killian comes out. And we've got a foul that's on Killian. Took a few second delay.
It looked like some of the players realized that it would be a foul because they did not start moving up on the counter. So there must have been some signal given. Yena's a little bit slow to get up, but seems like she's just fine.
Yeah, a little bit of a limp on her right leg.
Fishlock, who got nicked up in or at home against Washington last week, looks 100% to me.
Even an 80% Fishlock would be better than most midfielders in the world. Cox, Gordon tries to keep it in, but out for a corner kick to Seattle.
And when Seattle brought in much better players last season, like Little and Kawasumi, it really allowed Fishlock's game to mature, because when she got here in 2013, she was winning balls left and right, but it seemed like the next thing she would do is try to do something spectacular. There wasn't enough help. But playing in a stacked midfield, she is really one of the top most effective midfielders in this league right now.
Short ball, back to Little. Little plays it in. Dangerous ball. Hanging on the 6-yard. Cameron goes up for it. Yeah, that's a big thing that Laura Harvey did in the last couple of years. Seattle, their management had faith in her to go out and get players that she wanted. And we're starting to see a system that she, implemented, and it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to bring in a Kim Little that she had experience with at Arsenal.
And they gave her a long-term contract extension. She's under contract here for a few more years, which is a sign of confidence not only in the coach, but in the fact that the league will be here.
We have a foul. Looks like Levin got fouled over there.
Looked like the assistant referee on the far side might have called that one.
We have had a couple of these ones that seem like a few second delay to kind of see if there's any type of advantage played for the team that was fouled. Kutzall plays it over to Hogsma. Hogsma to Grubka. Grubka over to Morris. Dancing on the line there. Referee puts flag up. It's out. Cox back to Barnes. Fishlock. Back to Barnes. Over to Cox. Barnes plays it near the center circle. Kim Little traps. Brings it down. Plays it wide. They might have taken a deflection. Seattle maintained possession. And we're going to send it down in a few moments to Brittany Alvarez, our sideline reporter, and she'll tell us what she's seen in the past 20 minutes, because it has seemed very physical and refs letting some things go, but calling a pretty tight match. We'll have to talk to Brittany what she's seen in the last 20 minutes down on the field.
It's been a tight match so far, just like you said, Charlie. Laura Harvey and Coach Jim Gabera are both barking out orders to their teams. Laura Harvey, in terms of just telling her team, keep it short when they're in their offensive third, trying to get things done while they're down there. They've been down there a few more times than Sky Blue has. And Coach Gabera just being very encouraging to his team. He was getting a little frustrated earlier with them giving away the possession, but in the last set pieces, he was very impressed and just very encouraging and telling them to press on, press forward, and let's get a goal. All right, guys, back to you.
Great insight by Brittany Alvarez. That ball's played in left-footed. Challenging Cameron. Catches it just off her line. But, yeah, with Laura Harvey saying, keeping it short. You want to keep your form, and Gabera talking about pressing, both great things that both teams need to keep doing.
And I remember from my days down on the sideline, see what happens here.
Koppmeyer with the clearance, lands about midfield.
I remember from my season on the sideline hearing Jim Gabera say, frequently let the ball do the work for you. And that would be advice that I think his team right now, we're going to get a talking to, I think, to Hogsma here. But that would be advice I think Sky Blue could heed right now, is let the ball do some work for you. And still would like to see them moving it around, switching a little bit. You see the Rainer a lot quicker to switch the point of attack, especially when the ball's down in their defensive area.
Over to Little. Little creeping toward the center circle, puts it into Winters in the center circle. Plays it wide over to Reed. Lytle with a good challenge. Over to Fletcher. Fletcher makes a nifty move, maintains possession. Left-footed pass in. Dahlstrom comes up limping there. Nadim puts it back to Killian, who's fouled. Looks like Yenna's got her there. Yeah, I noticed that last time you were speaking there, Dan, that Jim Cabert is definitely doing a lot of barking. He had a little barking towards Laura Harvey, so I'm not sure because this game is getting quite physical.
Well, there's always the fourth official in between the coaches, who sometimes the fourth officials must feel like their only job is to hear coaches' complaints.
Yeah, they get it from both sides. Played over to Winters. Long balls into the box that are maybe an inch, 2-3 inches off. If they get those crosses in, Seattle's going to be scoring a lot of goals tonight.
And again, Grubka was right there with her man marking. I think this has been Grubka's best game so far this season. And good work between her and Cameron for Grubka to know exactly what spots Cameron wants to come up and get the ball in.
Gordon, left-footed pass over to Killian. Killian puts it back to Cutsall.
When you play in front of a keeper like Brittany Cameron, you can definitely play a high line, and that can be a luxury, but you must make sure that you know what the keeper will be doing, because a mistake by a keeper like Brittany Cameron can be a lot worse than some others because she spends so much time far out of her box. Really likes to come. Seattle hasn't made a lot of the sort of plays that we've been able to see it, but Cameron really likes to come beyond her 18 and play the ball with her feet and keep it away from opposing forwards that way.
Yeah, what amazes me about Cameron is that she has great footwork. She doesn't have a lot of height, but her footwork is amazing, and you can make up for lack of height with great footwork. And that's a turnover. Friel's in pursuit. Friel's a left-footed shot. Falls just wide. Looks like she was trying to catch Kottmeyer off her line.
Pretty good idea there. She had no support right off the bat, and one of the first times, really, that Sky Blue has had even a short lane to the goal without Seattle's center backs in the way, and a rare giveaway by the center defense pairing of Seattle.
Additional time will be indicated by the fourth official on the sideline.
We're just entering into the 45th minute. Not sure about stoppage time. I'm glancing down at the referee. It looks like there's 1 minute. No major delays in this half, so probably be 1 minute.
Can't see it being any more.
Half a minute maybe. Why not? Over to Cox. Little misplays. Hogsma. Over to Killian. Wide to Lytle. 11 plays a left-footed ball in. A lot of space. Barnes kicks it wide. And it's going to go out for a Sky Blue throw-in. Challenged on. Fishlock with a flicker.
The fourth official has indicated that
over to Fishlock. Sorry, Kim Little in the box.
To the first half, 1 minute.
Cameron keeps it in. So there you've heard it. It's 1 minute for stoppage time. I think Seattle's got to be pleased, and so does Sky Blue got to be pleased that, having a clean sheet both halves, just hit the reset button, get a break.
Sky Blue needs to just be careful that they don't get into one of these ruts where they go so long without scoring a goal that a streak itself becomes part of the problem. It would be a shame to hold Seattle off the scoreboard and not have anything to show for it by being able to get one yourself. I'm sure Seattle wishes they had one so far, but possession-wise, I don't see anything that Seattle would do really very differently. Maybe a little bit better final pass and maybe some players working to get free in space with some better runs, but Seattle's been certainly the team with the better of the possession and the better of the chances.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten at least 3 or 4 shots on goal. We'll have to look at the final stats when we come back, but they've gotten the shots on goal. Don't think Sky Blue has registered technically a shot on goal. And there's your halftime whistle with Sky Blue 0 and Seattle Reign 0. We're going to send it down the pitch momentarily for Brittany Alvarado halftime interview. But definitely a game where Seattle's put a lot of the pressure on, and Sky Blue's got to hit the reset button and come up with some offense in the second half.
They're going to need to be more energetic. And, Charlie, one of the lingering issues we'll have with the World Cup going on is that not only are teams being stretched to their limit, but if you look on the benches of a lot of these teams, there are really not a whole lot of players that can come off the bench where you say, there's a player that can score a goal.
Yeah, definitely have to look into the bench and look at the strategy, because they definitely got to press a little harder. They're making the runs, but just not getting that final third connecting and putting balls in the box that are in playable positions to score.
And that is, again, if you don't have someone coming off the bench, you're going to have to make the adjustment from within. And so, again, moving around, get the passing lanes, create the passing lanes, pass yourself out of pressure. And but right now, I think as we get to halftime, the most important thing for Sky Blue is keep Seattle off the scoreboard now, because it's evident now that it's not going to be a long shootout sort of a match. It's going to be a little bit tighter. So keep Seattle off the scoreboard. Last time Seattle was here, they came out second half and started exploding away with goals, and that can happen quickly, so they need to be careful.
Thing with a game like this, all you need is one goal to win. It doesn't matter the stats. You can give up 5 or 6 shots on, but so we're going to actually head out for the halftime. We got some great videos at halftime to play for you guys at home, so enjoy those. Dan and I will be back right before the half, and so everybody enjoy the halftime show.
By setting goals, being active, and eating better. Do it every day, and you both win. So get active, be healthy.
Let's take it up a notch.
Learn more at tunedintoyourhealth.com. It's another way Meridian Health is taking care of New Jersey.
Had enough? Yeah, look at this photo. Youngster, eyes wide open, joined with the team in 97, competing in this 99 World Cup. No clue what was gonna be ahead. I was shy, quiet, didn't speak. I was just kind of observing and watching the great leaders in front of me with, Carla Overbeck and Julie Foudy and Joy Fawcett, Christine Lilly, and when Pia took over the team and was in camp for maybe 2 weeks, and she had asked me, she's like, I think you'd be a great captain, and I was like, are you nuts? Like, I'm the quiet one, always just taking it all in, but she's like, no, you give so much. You lead by example, there's other ways of leading, so I said, okay, give me like 2 months to see if this is something I can handle, and, I'm a person that wants to make everybody around them better. Probably more of why I have kids and still here of being a mother, have that motherly instinct, and that's more of my role as captain leader on the team, but I embraced it, and I think it's helped my career along the way. What is amazing for me as a mom is that I grew up as such a shy, quiet, reserved, wouldn't even answer the phone or wouldn't even order a pizza when I was younger. And to see my 2 girls, especially being girls, the fact that they're around so many amazing role models and they just have so much confidence and so much independence, and it's truly inspiring for them, especially as a female, to be so empowered at such a young age and look up, to these girls. Her goals are set higher than I thought I ever had, at as a young age, and she loves soccer, she's playing basketball, and it's just great that she's, following not my footsteps, but all these girls' footsteps. I grew up in a little town called Peachtree City, south of Atlanta in Georgia. I played everything growing up. Everything. Swimming, I was really into swimming when I was little. Me climbing a tree when I was little, I guess. Older sister, Erin, younger brother, Jerry, and I would say all 3 of us got along pretty well. We were always out in the woods playing around. I think I was, an active kid, very social, really enjoyed doing whatever was thrown my way, but at the end of the day, and come bedtime, I wanted to sleep in my own bed. And when I was little, I couldn't go to a sleepover. I would go, and then by the time everyone's kind of getting ready for bed, maybe putting on their PJs, I would call my parents and ask them to come get me. And when I was little, I remember thinking about the idea of college and thinking, why would anyone ever want to go to college and live in one room with a stranger if they could just stay at home with their mom and dad and have their own room? So by middle school, I could go for a sleepover. And I think playing with the national team, the youth teams, really got me out, and I was able to travel, and being 15, 16 years old and going around the world is a crazy experience and something that a lot of people don't get to do, and I think that that really opened my eyes to what else was out there beyond, you know, Peachtree City, Georgia and the South. It's funny because my dad, he said, of all my kids, I would have never expected you to be the one who, as soon as you were done with high school, move away from Georgia and basically haven't moved back since. And we're kind of all over the place now. My brother's in the Navy and, you know, me playing soccer. My sister still lives in Atlanta and I always go home to Atlanta, so it's good. We see each other a fair amount and are lucky we're able to do that.
And I'm Haley Hogsma. And here we are at Point Pleasant Beach, about to give out some free tickets to our game this Sunday against Washington Spirit. At 6. Woo! 30. You have to say the time. At 6. At 6 o'clock. You want to win some tickets for our soccer game this weekend? All right, we're going to try. What's your name?
Peter.
Peter, nice to meet you. We are 3 players for Sky Blue FC, a professional women's soccer team here in Jersey.
Yeah.
Have you heard of us?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you come to a game before?
No, I have not come to a game.
Okay, well, we have a chance for you to win a couple of free tickets for our game Sunday night at 6. Would you like to play a little trivia to win?
Okay, sure.
Who is the captain of the U.S. women's national team? She is also the captain of Sky Blue FC.
Is it still Lombok? No.
Sorry, try again. She's from Manasquan. She has 2 kids.
Is it Christy something?
Sure is.
It's Christy. That is Christy Rampone?
Yes!
Huh? Rampone? Thank you.
There you go.
You got it, yeah! Christine Rampone, yes, Captain America.
You got it.
Oh my god, I just saw her on a billboard.
Jersey Mike's? Was it Jersey Mike's?
I just saw, oh my god, I cannot. Rampone.
So, the Women's World Cup is going on this summer. Do you know where that is being taken place?
Do you know where the Women's World Cup will be played this June?
It's played in Canada.
Canada, 1 for 1.
Nothing? Not even watch Sports Center?
I send her right over and she probably
Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
No worries.
Have a wonderful day.
Do you know anything about soccer?
Okay. Can you name 3 players who will be participating in the Women's World Cup this summer?
Alex Morgan, Kelly O'Hara.
Yeah! Oh, you're the winner!
Tobin Heath, Alex Morgan, and Sydney LaRue.
Woo! Good job, Peter.
This is Christy Rampone. Count again.
Yes.
Abby Wambach.
Yes.
And LaRue. Don't know Chris.
Boom. Mr. Siegel, I have a quick question for you. Mr. Siegel!
We are with Sky Blue FC, the women's professional team from New Jersey.
Have you heard of us? Yeah. How many people are on the field at once per team in soccer? He said 11. Woo! He got it right. Woo! 2 more. Because we have some tickets if you're interested in coming to our game on Sunday. We play at Rutgers. Yep, Rutgers Stadium at 6 o'clock. We're playing Washington Spirit. We're going to win.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kathy.
Okay.
Bye. Woo! Thanks, Peter.
Go Sky Blue FC!
Woo! Thank you. We just gave out 20 tickets to our game on Sunday. I don't know. We just gave out 20 tickets to our game on Sunday at 6 o'clock against Washington Spirit at Rutgers Stadium. We'll be out and about in New Jersey over the next few weeks giving out some tickets so you could be next.
Fans, let's give a big round of applause for all of the Sky Blue FC interns and volunteers.
And welcome back to the Sky Blue broadcast of Seattle Reign at Sky Blue. We are at 0-0, getting ready to start the second half in a couple minutes. Sky Blue with a little bit of offense near the end, but most of the pressure from Reign tonight. What do you see if you're Sky Blue to fix this situation and get on the board?
Well, I was chatting with some media colleagues there at halftime, and their sense is that Nadia Nadim was playing alone up top, and when we spoke to Coach before the game, he was telling us it would be a 4-3-3 with Lytle and Gordon up front. So I don't know, did Lytle and Gordon not get up there because the midfield play hasn't played them through, or are they hanging back a little bit than they're supposed to, or did maybe things change right off the, right before game time? I don't know, but Nadim had the one chance where she was able to play somebody through, and then there was the offsides goal that they had, but got to get Nadia Nadim in a position where she can make an impact on the games, and right now she's just not there, and the Reign have not been stretched out of their defensive shape, I don't think, even one time.
Yeah, I think Nadim needs to get a little more help. They're running technically a 4-3-3, but it kind of broke in as the game went off. It seemed that Gordon drifted back a little bit. Lytle has made some runs, but neither Gordon nor Lytle have had any possession in the box. They've been right on the edge of box, but I think the thing is now is all three of those players need to be putting pressure in the box.
They do have Maya Hayes on the bench. We said there are not going to be a lot of attacking options on benches during the World Cup. Hayes, I think, has been an improved player since when she began in the league a little over a year ago as a first-round draft pick. That being said, she hasn't gotten herself on the score sheet. You can be improved. You can have more confidence. You can play better with the ball at your feet when you're a forward. You've got to score. So maybe she'll give them a spark coming off the bench as fresh legs playing against some players who have been out there for an hour, 70 minutes, or whenever it is that she comes on.
Yeah, I just glanced over at the sideline and saw the Sky Blue line. Looks like they're going to go with about the same players for the second half, but, don't be, surprised to see like a Maya Hayes come in and add that extra pressure. She did really great in the first few games, linking up with Nadim, so I think that is a substitute to look out for.
But they will need last time we were here, 2 weeks ago, Jim Gabara said that team came out a little bit flat. I didn't think they were flat this time, but there needs to be more energy. There needs to be more runs off the ball, more support, more passing lanes, and they need to take the ball and use those passing lanes.
Yeah, definitely a sense of urging the second half. They're coming off a couple game losing streak here. Got to snap it, and what a better way to snap it right here at home.
And we talked about that. They're the only team in the league that has yet to have a 2-goal game, and you can sort of see why. And they've now been shut out for a game and a half, and then the last 27 minutes, I think, just off the top of my head, but the last 27 minutes or so against the Spirit 2 weeks ago. So that's coming up on 2 full games now without a goal.
Another thing that will not be a factor in this game is the sun. It's a very cloudy day here, so there's no sunlight issues. We've seen that a lot in the second half, so it would have been in Cameron's face. Well, that will not be an issue. The sun has gone down. There's tons of cloud cover, so I think there will be no lighting issues tonight.
Nice and cool, too. It's a beautiful night to play soccer. It might be a little cool to sit out in the stands, but it's a beautiful night to be out there playing.
Yeah, the players are the lucky ones. The other ones getting out there to play, so... Also, big shout out to Cloud9, the fan club. They presented me with a beautiful scarf before the game started, so thank you guys. We're going to send it down to the field for the second half. And Sky Blue's going to start to kick off for the second half. Just waiting on the referee. And go time. Over to Killian. Over to Morris. Morris plays it to Grubka. Grubka plays it in. Overhits Friels. Seattle maintains. Fishlock in the center circle. Loses the ball. Levin grabs. Puts it over to Cutsall.
Sky Blue FC, 2 teams connected on the winning goal.
Cameron plays long ball over. Overhits Lytle. That's for a Sky Blue throw-in. Reed's going to take it right at the center mark. Headed out by Levin.
We haven't talked at all about Haley Kottmeyer because she hasn't had a whole lot to do in goal for the Reign. But this is now the third season she's played against Sky Blue, and the Reign have yet to score a goal in front of Haley Kottmeyer against Sky Blue. A 3-0 Sky Blue win 2 years ago and a scoreless draw last season.
Replays the ball and intercepted by Hogsma. Jess Fishlock has a ball in the little. Deflected out. Yennes. Over to Winters. Winters has a little stumble, but gets it over to Cox. Back to Barnes. Over to Fletcher.
This team just does not give the ball away cheaply.
No, they do a lot of wear and tear, just maintain possession. Fishlock with a long ball right outside the 18. Looks like it was headed by Grubka, then headed by Cutsall. Over to Morris. Killian plays back to Morris. Morris looks at her options. And we have a foul against, guess that'll actually be against Sky Blue. I thought it was going to go the other way.
We wish to announce a very special happy 13th
Over to
birthday
Winters.
Joanna Lavin. Love your Manalapan Fire family. Happy birthday, Joanna. Thanks for spending
And ball in.
tonight here at Sky Blue.
Little loses possession. Over to Cutsall. Cutsall plays it back to Cameron. Yen is in chase. Falls in the middle of the center circle. Fletcher played it. Friels. Fishlock.
Early doors here in the second half, but right off the bat, it's a lot more of the same of what we saw in the first half. And again, Little gets the ball, something positive happens for Seattle. Not necessarily a scoring chance. There's a bad touch that goes out for Sky Blue throw, but not necessarily a scoring chance. But how often have you ever seen the Reign chasing the play after Kim Little gets her foot on the ball?
No, you hit it the nail on the head right there, Dan. What Harvey does is Laura Harvey keeps the team, patient. Keeps them at their pace. Cameron intercepted by Dahlstream. Levin gets the ball back. Cuts all in a little trouble. Plays it out to Lytle. Lytle battling on the sideline. Reed kicks it out for a Sky Blue throw-in. Levin Plaza played over to Nadim. She's double-teamed, loses the ball. One thing teams are doing a lot is they're double-teaming her before the ball gets there and making it very difficult for her to get any balls.
And as we said earlier, if that happens, somebody somewhere is open on the field. The job for Sky Blue is to make sure that's a player who's open in a dangerous position. That's number one. And number two, make sure that player gets the ball. And if they boot it around enough, that will get Nadia Nadim open because she makes clever runs. And if the defenders are moving around, Nadim will find open space.
Grubka over to Cutsall. Dahlstream with a lot of pressure. Cutsall just gets it off. And it falls in. That's a turnover. Hogsma gets a great dispossession there.
Hogsma, I think, has had a pretty good debut in the holding midfield position.
There's Cami Levin. Streaking with the orange boots. Plays a right-footed pass over to Nadim. Nadim with some space. Plays a right foot across. Falls just inside the 6-yard box and rolls out for a goal kick.
And nobody home for Sky Blue there. Just a quick follow-up on Hogsma. It's probably about the most difficult transition to go from playing in college to then getting injured and missing an entire year and then coming back and going up a level. So you have to get through the injury. She did have an ACL injury before, so maybe that helped a little bit just with how the recovery would go. But I can't think of many things more difficult than taking a year off to recover from an injury and then going up a level and and who you're playing against and with.
Yeah, for all matters considered, she almost has to be considered a rookie because this is thrown into the battle, but went through a lot mentally, but is showing that she can battle with the best. Fletcher wide. Barnes plays it over to Fishlock. Fishlock with a couple touches, plays a right-footed ball in. Cutsall gets a foot on it. Friels with possession right at the halfway. Fishlock put their foot out in the flex. Friels dispossessed.
That 1 foot in by Fishlock changes the entire scope of this field right now. Seattle wins it because Fishlock made an aggressive challenge.
Great ball in by Kim Little. Pressure by Seattle. Shot on goal. Save Cameron. Another shot by Winter. Save Cameron. Still alive in the box. Kicked out by Kutzall.
That's a great recovery by Cameron. You can expect her to make the first save, which I believe was on Merritt Mathias, but the second save, it takes a quick goalkeeper to come up and get back in position to make the second one.
Yeah, definitely back-to-back saves. That's one of the hardest things for a goalkeeper to do is to recover from a deflected shot and get back up and make another deflection. So we're still at 0-0. We're getting close to the 53rd minute.
And Brittany Cameron has put her stamp on this game now. We saw Killian keep one out in the first half and a couple of great saves. She made a good save on Fishlock in the first half and 2 in a row right here early in the second.
Ball falls in. We've got a Sky Blue free kick coming up. Definitely in a dangerous area here for Sky Blue to hopefully get a shot on goal.
It certainly it will be in a spot where they'll be able to, at the very least, play one to the top of the 6. Nadim not hopping right back up here, though.
Looks as if Seattle's going to put a 3-man wall, maybe a 4-man wall, and their defenders are going to hold just above the 18.
And that was Kendall Fletcher that got mixed up with Nadim and led to the foul. And here we go again with the player really taking her time getting up. And the Sky Blue does not want the training staff on the field. They want Nadim to be part of this free kick.
This might be a little too far out of range for a direct shot on. We saw Katie Friels score against Rutgers in a preseason game, but that was about maybe 26 yards out. This is a little further out. So Friels plays it in. Headed out. Nadim on. Loses. Barnes gets the ball. Left-footed long ball over to Yanez. Yanez dribbles over halfway. Plays the ball on. Kim Little showing her wheels. Played out by Cameron.
I think whatever halftime adjustments the Reign made, it looks like they're making more aggressive runs around the outside of the Sky Blue defenders. That's what led to the sequence where Cameron made the 2 saves and a similar run right there. So that'll be something for Sky Blue's outside backs to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely they tried to take advantage of that counterattack. And we just saw that off the free kick for Sky Blue, that they were just running out the gates. Hogsma over to Kutzall. Do see some activity on the Sky Blue bench. And, a couple other players are just getting up, and Seattle's got a player about to warm up. So pretty much looks like every single player on the Sky Blue bench is now warming up.
As we said, it's not a very warm night, so probably does require a little bit of time to get loose.
So we do have, I see Foxhoven is up on the Seattle bench talking to their assistant. So, she's been a very useful sub for Seattle, so I would not be surprised if they put her in. Over to Reed. Reed over to Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom with a cross in. Takes a deflection. Kutzall just has to play it out for a throw into Seattle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please grab
Foxhoven is another player who can come in and make a difference up front. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet.
Please get those parking lot raffle tickets in hand right now.
Levin with the throw in. Friels getting chased on by Winters. Maintains. Puts it off to Killian. Killian tries to play a one-time pass that's intercepted. Played back to Barnes.
She had Meg Morris streaking down the right side. Not sure if she was trying to get there and just came up short or not, but Morris had tons of space on the right side just now.
Please report to the Sky Blue tent on the main concourse area to claim your prize.
And it does appear that Foxhoven will be coming in. Laura Harvey's having her last few chat with her, giving her some instructions, so it looks like that'll be our first sub of the night.
You have that winning number, 469145. You're the winner of the parking lot raffle. Please report to the Sky Blue tent on
Taylor Lytle.
Congratulations.
Plays it on Nadim. Back to Friels. Gordon. Gordon plays it over to Levin, just out of her reach.
That was better ball movement by Sky Blue. Again, Fishlock with a great recovery run defensively, just interrupted it just enough to cause Sky Blue some problems.
So Dahlstrom's going to step off, and Foxhoven's going to step in, another Portland Pilot product. It seems like this is a team that's half made up of Portland Pilot products.
And she has had success within this league. She was part of the Thorns 2 years ago when they won the championship. She had kind of a memorable rant, if you will, about the team after a bad loss at home, and they sort of turned the corner after that, came over to Seattle last season and won the Shield as the regular season champion. So good things follow Danny Foxhoven around.
That's over to Yanez. Yanez plays it in, but deflected out by Cutsall.
Not only that, but she can score. When she first came on board with Portland, when the league began in 2013, she was utilized a lot off the bench, and the Thorns always got better when Foxhoven would come into games the first couple months back in 2013.
Foxhoven seeing early action, loses the ball. Cutsall comes out with it. Cutsall plays it wide, just out of Tara Lytle's reach. Reba the throw into Winters. Winters with some deflections, taken down. Play on advantage, Seattle. Loses the ball. Winters is still down. Lytle's just going to kick it out. Like Winters is back up now. Throw in Reed. Just plays it back to Levin. Going to be a sky blue throw-in. I know it took a deflection, wasn't sure, but it's going to be a sky blue throw-in. McMorris. Grubka plays it. Intercepted by Seattle. Winters. Over to Little. Little hesitating, waiting for a space, stops, starts back up, plays a left-footed ball wide. Thiasen chase, plays a right-footed ball in. That's a header by Foxhoven. It sails wide.
That was a chance right there. Foxhoven puts that directly on goal. That's a mighty difficult save for Cameron, but she didn't get all of it.
Over to Levin. Levin with challenge on, loses to Foxhoven. Little and Hogsma. Hogsma comes up. Hogsma still battling. Referee blows a whistle. A little body checking going on. It's going to be a free kick to Seattle. Kim Little over the ball. Seattle's got 4 players right on top of the 18. Sky Blues trying to hold. Fishlock is in an offside position at the moment. Cross in. Header. Cameron recovers. Fires it out. She's got Katie Friels. Friels back to Morris. Morris over to Gordon. Gordon plays the ball. It's intercepted by Fishlock. Yanez wide to Fishlock. Fishlock grabs the ball. Put the flicker in. Little was in pursuit, but Levin intercepted. Levin with a back heel flick. Over to Killian. Killian over to Friels. Looks like Reed just got a toe on it. Goes out for a sky blue throw. We're going to send it down momentarily to Brittany Alvarado to see what she has going on down there. I know there's a lot of activity on the sky blue bench. Maybe she'll tell us what's going on with sky blue's warm-ups. Let's send it down to you, Brittany.
Congratulations to Frank Calvin, Isabel Vasquez, Thomas.
That's Kim Little on the ball.
Belizos, and
over to
Burko.
Cameron.
Those winners once again are Burko, Belizos,
Cameron with the ball.
Kimmerly, Isabel Vasquez, and Frank Calvin. Your tonight's tennis ball toss winners. You can head to the Sky Blue FC merchandise.
Cameron plays a long ball in.
Concourse to claim your prizes. Congratulations.
Fishlock. Fishlock chasing. Stays in. Fishlock plays a ball in. Cami Levin keeps it out. Headed down. Reed with the ball. Plays it far post. That's a Seattle Reign goal into the back of the net here in the 62nd minute. Seattle takes a, wait a minute.
Flag was up, I believe.
Missed it again, so it's 0-0. I think every Seattle player thought they scored. I mean, the player was already streaking. Got me again, so still 0-0, no goal.
So one on each side now, but Sky Blue's got to be a lot more tight than that in the back. The flag might have been up, but defensively, that's not what you want to see.
That's actually called offside. Seattle free kick put in play. Over to Fletcher. Fletcher with a lot of space in front of her. Fishlock. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher plays a long ball in just over the head of Kim Little. It's going to be a Sky Blue throw-in. Levin with the throw. Winners over to Fishlock. Little heading towards goal. In the box. Right foot across. Takes a nasty deflection, but Cameron gobbles it up. We're going to send it down momentarily to Brittany Alvarado on the sideline. What are you seeing on the sidelines there, Brittany?
Well, everyone thought that was a Seattle Reign goal. Even the Seattle Reign bench, I was taking a look over at them, and they just had their hands up in disbelief. Definitely a much more physical battle right now. Neither of these teams want to end in a tie. Both teams, 3 points would be huge for them. So right now, that's all I see. Seattle Reign definitely down on that one, but that's good news for Sky Blue that wasn't a goal. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brittany Alvarado, our sideline reporter. Yeah, I guess I was fooled, and so was Brittany, and so was the entire Seattle bench. You know, it's one of those things where in our position, I didn't see the offside right away, but I can see why they called that.
And it happened, the goal was scored on the opposite side that the assistant referee was on. So both teams have been bitten by the offside flag on a ball they thought was a goal.
And the ball's hitting the back of the net, just not legally.
And we are all square. There was not been a scoreless draw in league play this season. And I don't have the number exactly in front of me, but it was well into last season before there was a scoreless draw.
Nadim keeping it in. He's got it deep near the corner on the far side. Kicked out. That's going to be a Sky Blue corner kick. Their first corner kick of the second half.
It's a nice job by Nadim. That was 2-on-0, and I'm not sure she had much she could have done with it besides win a corner kick.
Yeah, that probably was the smartest play because she had, like I said, the double team. Looked like even the triple team was coming on. Maintain enough possession to get a set piece. Katie Friel's sitting there for the short kick. We've got Killian taking this one. Sky Blue's got numbers in the box. Played in. And it's going to fall for a corner kick. Looks like it might have touched a Seattle player, but referee says no. Goal kick for Sky Blue.
Interesting that Killian got down there and took the corner kick because Katie Friels has been taking them. And Friels serves a pretty good ball, but her corner kicks, in my opinion, haven't been hitting the mark. And that was a well-placed corner by Killian. Unfortunately, it was mostly Reign players around the ball. And then, of course, the one Sky Blue player got up and knocked it out for a goal kick. But we'll see if Killian continues to do that. Of course, Sky Blue's got to get down there and win some more of those if we're going to really see whether Killian is the new corner kick taker.
And one player that took a lot of corner kicks in the Penn State preseason game was Shauna Gordon. I think she took almost every single corner kick. That's another player that is still out on the field that was an offensive threat during the preseason. And Shauna Gordon's going to take the throw in. They defer to Meg Morris. So we have a deep throw in here. They're in deep, going to look for a shot on goal. Have to create some type of offense. Played in. It's in the box. Cross the frame of goal, just out of reach. Probably Sky Blue's best opportunity of the night to get a goal.
Certainly was. Nothing special about the play, just off of a throw-in, but sometimes when you haven't scored in a while, that's the sort of thing you need to get yourself going, but not quite there on the finish.
Lytle. Stripped off by Yanez. Killian with a good interception. Over to Friels. Friels plays it in. She had a lot of pressure by Winters, so she just had to play it in without losing the ball.
Most impressive parts about Seattle Reign for me, we talked about Little. Positive things always happen when she gets the ball. Jess Fishlock, she doesn't hold the ball for long periods of time necessarily, but her first two touches are always excellent. She's always near the ball in midfield. And the back four really does not get pulled out of position very often.
That's Kim Little approaching goal. Kim Little just outside the 18. She passes it wide to Matthias. Makes a couple moves in the box. Matthias hits a shot that Cameron grabs. Tried to hesitate a few times to try to chick Cameron, but Cameron held her ground.
Yeah, might have wanted to take that shot a little bit quicker. I think that gave Cameron an opportunity to get set up and really read where that shot was going.
Ball in, Winters. Intercepted by Meg Morris. Back to Grubka. Grubka over to Cutsall. Back to Cameron. I want to give a special shout out to a youth soccer team here tonight, the Wall Lizards out of Wall, New Jersey. One of their players has come here with her whole entire team to celebrate her birthday, and that's Maya. I just want to wish you a happy birthday, Maya, and hope your team's enjoying the game out there, and that's for the Wall Lizards.
Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms in attendance this evening.
It's back over to Fletcher. Fletcher plays the ball in. Just over the head of Yanez. Gordon, step over. Challenged by Fishlock. Plays it over to Nadim. Back to Grubka. Grubka plays it. Overplays Meg Morris. That's going to fall in for a goal kick for Seattle.
And again, too good work with the switch and getting the ball advanced and pushing the Reign players back a little bit to end up with just a lonely ball that goes over everybody and goes out for a goal kick.
So we have Maya Hayes entering the match for Tara Lytle, looking to add a spark to the offense. And the Penn State grad has got a lot of speed on her. She's a kind of forward that sometimes looks to pass first instead of score, so hopefully she can link up with Nadim tonight.
And we talked about maybe she'll be a little bit more comfortable coming in on fresh legs and going against what should be a couple of tired Seattle Reign defenders. But as you said, I don't think either team really wants to leave here scoreless.
That's wide to Levin. Miss hit to Hayes. Over to Little. Killian keeps it in. Play it over to Hayes. Hayes loses the ball. Ref lets them play on. They have an advantage. Foxhoven with the ball. Foxhoven approaching goal. Foxhoven makes a move. Loses the ball. Hogsmo recovers. Played over to Morris. Morris over to Gordon. Hit a little too hard. Gordon plays it in. Nadim is in chase.
She should get
Fletcher with the tackle on. And it's going to be a Seattle goal kick. Great pursuit by Fletcher to close the gap.
Nadim got there but didn't have enough time. And no foul was called on the play.
We're now in the 71st minute with Seattle Reign at Sky Blue with a 0-0 right now.
That was a rare moment, though, where the back line did get stretched a little bit, and Nadim was able to run onto the ball in space. And as you said, great job by Fletcher to close it down.
And that's Gordon knocking it out. It's going to be a deep throw in. Cox is going to take it for Seattle.
Great seats to the match, and our remaining home games are all available online or by calling 888-SVFC-TICK.
And that's over.
3 p.m. on Sunday, May 31st.
Reed.
Sky Blue FC against the Houston
Pressure by
Dash.
Levin. Going to call a foul on Levin right at the center line. Played in. Headed out by Kutzall. Winners. Fishlock. Fishlock chips it into the box. Headed wide by Hogsma. Tried to direct it toward Kim Little. Seattle maintained possession. Winners. Back to Fishlock. Over to Little. Little making a couple nifty spin around moves. Plays it out. Meg Morse absorbs that cross. We have a foul on Seattle. It's going to be sky blue ball. Pierce Cameron's going to take this. Cameron. Hayes in pursuit. Tracked back by Danielle Foxhoven. Levin. Over to Hogsma. Fishlock with a long clearance. Cuts all traps. Plays over to Levin. Hoxhoven in pursuit. Back to Cameron. Little adding pressure in the box. Played over Grubka. Grubka wide to Morse. Morse loses. Recovers. Killing to Hogsma. Levin at the center. A lot of space. Plays it wide to Hayes. Hayes dribbling towards the box. Hayes in the box. Hayes gets taken down just inside the box. Referee says play on. Rams fans not too happy. Hogsma. Back to Kutzall.
Hard to judge with the naked eye from this far away, but it certainly hasn't been a game that would give you the indication that anything close would be called for a penalty kick, especially that far outside of the goal. I know it's supposed to be every inch of that 18-yard box is supposed to be treated the same.
Yeah, she didn't have a clear-cut view of the goal, so I can see why the ref, kept his whistle in his pocket. This game's been called very tight.
Seattle, by the way, does not have another league match until the 30th of May. They will play a friendly at home in Seattle against the Chinese national team May 22nd as part of China's prep for the World Cup. So the Reign are very likely to be pushing their players as hard as possible. There's nothing to save anybody for with a period of inactivity coming up.
Yeah, very valuable 3 points on the line for both teams. Fishlock puts it back. Barnes wide. Over to Winners. Winners looking for help. Going down the line. Plays the ball on the Little recovers. Middle's making a spin move. Got a lot of pressure from Grubka. Little plays it in. It's headed out by Levin. Levin was playing deep in the box. Winners. Takes a deflection. It's going to be a Seattle corner kick here. Wasn't 100% sure.
Stick around for player autographs after the match. They'll be conducted.
So we've got a quarter hour to go, and if there will be a game winner, it'll be in those famous final 15.
Kim Little sitting over the ball. Plays to the Fishlock right near the top of the box. Maya Hayes with challenge. Left-footed blast, back of the net, Seattle goal. Seattle takes a 1-0 lead here in the 67th minute off a one-time goal. And that was Lauren Barnes that got the goal, the UCLA graduate.
And after 75-plus minutes of scoreless soccer, that's probably about the last scenario you would think would happen to create a goal. A corner kick played not short necessarily, but up top. And Barnes, a central defender who doesn't make too many forays forward, with a long shot, and it just eluded the reach of Brittany Cameron.
Sometimes you just hit those balls to the defender. You're told just put it through traffic and good things can happen. And she put a blast in there, found the back of the net.
First of the season, coming in the 76th minute. Barnes unassisted in the 76th minute.
Long ball over to Hayes. Hayes in pursuit. Hayes with the ball, putting on Chase. Shielded out by Fletcher.
And now for Sky Blue, suddenly you look at it and you've got this streak now approaching 200 minutes. You haven't scored. You haven't created a lot of chances. You've got Hope Solo's back up in goal, and you haven't been able to put her to the test to have to do anything significant to keep you off the scoreboard. All of a sudden now, you know, they didn't want to end up scoreless, but 14 minutes to go, and they've got to push. They need a goal here, or it's going to be 3 consecutive losses, 2 of which are here at home, where sometimes over the last couple of seasons – maybe they haven't played their best.
And that's going to be a throw-in. Cami Levin's going to take it for Sky Blue. Back over. Killian, a lot of pressure. It's going to be a free kick for Sky Blue. They've got about 13 minutes and change to come up with something. It comes to a point where getting 3 points may be tough. Now you want to try to at least get the draw out of the match. Killian is going to take this free kick. Sarah Killian puts it in. A lot of traffic. Bumping in the box. Fishlock taken down. She's down. Sky Blue player's down. Looks like Nadim was down as well. It's going to be a foul against Sky Blue. Actually, that looks like it was Taylor Lytle. I apologize. Not Taylor Lytle, that was Nadim. A yellow card shown.
That's 2 yellow cards now for Nadim. You always have to. It's always interesting when the forwards start racking up the yellow cards.
Got to correct myself. Tara Leiter was pulled out of the match. So I don't think she would get a yellow card unless she was barking at the ref.
Yeah, that's well, you can, but
yeah,
it's tough to do. Speaking of which, looks like Jim Gabera and the 4th official are locked in some extended conversation down by the Sky Blue technical area.
Yeah, he's not too happy. And shortly we'll send it down to Brittany Alvarado on the sideline and get her take from the goal and what Jim Cabrera and his squad are trying to do to even this match up. Cutsall dribbles past the halfway line. Plays over 11. Back to Cutsall. Going to be throw-in for Seattle.
Hey fans, be sure to join us on May 31st for the 3rd annual Kick ALS.
Ellie Reed plays in, the little.
Show the red card to Lou Gehrig's disease.
Maya Hayes, wide to Killian. Killian looking over for Morse, got a lot of space. In pursuit, Cox. Morse maintains, dribbles out. A lot of contact, but that's going to be a Seattle throw-in.
I think there might have been a change called. There might be a foul. I think that's a free kick coming up for Sky Blue. The assistant referee called it out of bounds, but I think that's a free kick for Sky Blue coming up.
Yeah, they're definitely changing it because
or just a throw-in maybe.
Sky Blue's getting numbers in the box. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. So Shauna Gordon over the ball. Meg Morse dropping back. Sky Blue have a ton of numbers in the box. Played in. That's a header by Hogsma, just wide.
Might be their best chance of the night. Free header in the box for Hogsma.
We're going to send it down to the sidelines to Brittany Alvarado and see what she's observed the last 20 minutes. Brittany, what have you seen down there?
Well, that Seattle ring goal was definitely a heartbreaker for the Sky Blue FC team. But just before that, we all saw Maya Hayes go down in the box. And I was listening in on Jim Gabera and the main ref's conversation, and even he said it should have been a call. So questionable there, and you got to say that could have been a huge game changer for Sky Blue if a penalty kick was awarded with that one. But, you know, Sky Blue isn't giving up. They definitely still have a fire in them. Maya Hayes is out there controlling and asking for the ball, so we'll see if they can string something together. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brittany. That was our sideline reporter, Brittany Alvarado, and definitely a debatable call there because at the time when there was not the the penalty kick awarded to Sky Blue was 0-0, so it could have changed the whole complex of this game. But now we're sitting on a 1-0 lead for Sky Blue down to Seattle.
And the goal scorer, Lauren Barnes, this is her 50th NWSL match, meaning she's only missed one, and that is her very first NWSL goal.
Definitely a play over from WPS days when she played in Philly. Definitely a solid, strong player in the back.
And another player who improved so much last season when the personnel around her got better, it just allowed her to really play a lot more within the game that she has.
Foxhoven ball in. We have a foul right outside of Sky Blue block, and the card's coming out. We have a yellow card on Grubka. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Dan, but we had a lot of action going down.
Understood. Game comes first.
Yellow card issued to number 13.
So this is a very, very threatening position here. One of these spots right outside the 18 that you can look to put a ball on frame. If Seattle get a goal here, this game will pretty much be wrapped up. So very important for Sky Blue to keep it out of the net.
And the Reign will have options here. Little can certainly finish it. Fishlock can probably finish it from right where it is, and they can always play it into someone. And
we even have Cox standing over the ball now.
Any number of things can go right for you when you take a dangerous free kick of this magnitude, of this nature, at this part of the field. See Nadim back there lining up the wall.
Very good delayed tactic. Stand in front of the ball. She does have to be careful. She is sitting on the yellow card. Kim Little walks up, deflects off, stays out the back of the net, but it's going to be a Seattle corner kick. That ball had a lot of pace and looked like it was heading for the back of the net. No rush for Seattle here. They're going to take their time on this corner kick.
Kim DeCesar will be coming in for Sky Blue. Looks like they're going to let the corner kick go first.
Yeah. Kim Little puts it in. Cleared out. Put back in. Cameron catches. Plays a long drop kick. Friels plays the ball. It's going to maintain some backspin and stay in. Gordon keeps it in somehow. Killian looks to play a long, wide ball to Levin. Levin's going to play it over to Hogsma. Hogsma with a lot of pressure. Fishlock gets the ball streaking down the field. She's got options to her left. Yanez. Fishlock not happy. A lot of contact. It's going to be another free kick for Seattle. Seattle's going to be bringing in two players.
And it looks like Fishlock is coming off just for a chat with the coach, with Laura Harvey. DeCesar definitely coming in now for Sky Blue, and that's Cammie Levin coming off.
And for Seattle, Noguera is going to be coming in, and so's Amber Brooks. Looks like they're making a double switch. That'll be all for Seattle subs. Like Seattle's going to wait till after the free kick to put their subs in.
Sky Blue FC substitution coming on is number 12, Kim DeCesar.
So that's an offensive substitution for Sky Blue with DeCesar coming in for Levin. I expect DeCesar to play a lot higher than Levin, but they've got to keep this out of the goal first.
Over to Foxhoven. She plays a left-footed cross in. Headed out by Grubka. Friels plays a long ball. Over to Maya Hayes. She's got room. Stays in. Hayes plays a ball into the box. Hayes in pursuit again. Plays it in. A lot of pressure. Cesar just didn't have it on her feet. Long ball played in. Fishlock's going to try her hardest to keep it in. Just rolls out.
Here come the Seattle subs now, Noguera and Brooks. Brooks came over in the trade that saw the rights to Abby Wambach come over to Seattle, with Sydney LaRue heading to Western New York.
Looks like it's going to be Yanez out and Merritt Mathias out for Seattle. Both very productive nights for both of them.
And that's a defensive substitution for the most part for the Seattle Reign. Noguera originally played for the Boston Breakers. and actually had a cameo toward the end of the championship match last season and really played. It was only about 6 or 7 minutes, but really was a factor in Seattle almost clawing back in that game and forcing extra time.
Gordon with a throw in over to Hogsma. Hogsma loses. Kim Little. She's got Amber Brooks to her left. Plays it over to Amber Brooks. Amber Brooks plays it back to Little. Little in the box, crossing in front of frame. Fishlock just misses the header. Would have made it 2-0.
That would have been the dagger right there. You can see Fishlock would want that one over again, I think.
Yeah, Amber Brooks at UNC Product is a very hardworking player. She actually trains locally in the area with James Galanis, so she spent some time also at Bayern Munich, so definitely a workhorse type of player. In a position like this, when you've got a 1-0 lead, a perfect call-up.
She was originally had said she was not going to play in WSL, and the Thorns drafted her anyway, kind of down the line a little bit in 2013. And she did come back and suit up for them last year.
Got a loose ball. Maya Hayes plays over Kutzall. Kutzall plays a ball in the box. Falls in. Gordon tries to play a long ball in. Kopsmeyer handles it. And we're going to get a corner kick for Sky Blue. She was juggling it on the line. Might have just been out. So hard to tell from our angle here, Dan.
Unless that ball took a deflection, that's a mistake by Kopmeyer to even attempt that. That was well wide.
So we are now getting ready to enter into the 89th minute. We're in the 88th minute. This is a corner kick for Sky Blue. Not much time left for them.
And it is Killian again to take it. We had speculated on that before.
Killian plays it in. Floating, pinging around the front. And somehow stays out. And stays out. Not sure if it's in. Sky Blue players were celebrating. Not sure. Somehow did not go in and goes wide. It's going to be a Sky Blue throw-in. Sky Blue corner kick, excuse me. Not sure how that ball did not go in.
So tough to tell, even with my trusty binoculars. It did look like it might have been in.
Goal line technology, we need it.
Possible to tell, but Kim DeCesar, and they're actually discussing it. The referee and the assistant are actually discussing it.
A couple players on the Sky Blue bench here on the sideline putting their hands up like it's good.
Well, and it's actually a goal.
Oh, we got a PK handball. Looks like it's going to be a handball PK for Sky Blue. Wow, so the refs chat.
Well, what do you know?
We have our PK here. Nadim's going to line up. Game is on the line. We are now clicking into the 90th minute. Talk about drama, Dan.
We saw a similar spot last year when Kelly O'Hara missed the frame in a tie game in stoppage time on opening night against the Thorns. And this time it'll be Nadim to tie it up.
So everybody in the stands are going to hold their breath for a moment here. I'll hold my breath.
What I was going to say is DeCesar with a great job to get ahead on that ball, the original corner at the far post.
Waiting for the ref signal. Kopmeyer can be a hero here, so can Nadim.
She saved one against Sky Blue 2 years ago. Can she do it again? And there's still some chatter going on between the referee and the assistant ref.
So Nadim has the lone goal in Sky Blue's lone win and the 1-0 win over Kansas City. She's lined up, looking to notch it up at 1-1.
And Jess Fishlock has just been sent off.
Wow.
And that
I actually missed that. I was looking right at the PK spot. Looks like some jostling going around, and looks like we got some more cartage coming up.
It must be that Fishlock was the one who put her hand on the ball, and it was a red card for the handball in the box.
Wow. Definitely something we need to see on the replay because being so far away.
And if so, it's great communication between the referee and the assistant referee. They're taking their time, but getting the call correct.
We are now into stoppage time. Took a couple minutes to get that. Nadim lines up. Referee gives a signal. Lines up. Back of the net, 1-1. Sky Blue goal. We are tied at 1-1. Fans love it. Seattle's looking for a quick restart.
That Sky Blue FC goal scored by number 9, Nadia.
Well, that's a pretty good way to get Nadia Nadim in a position to score a goal, isn't it? Right on the penalty spot. That's her second of the season.
Not much Kopmeyer can do there. When a player hits a ball with pace like that, no goalkeeper in the world is going to save that.
Coming into this season, Charlie, the only team in the league that had not conceded a goal in the 90th minute or stoppage time to have a result changed around was the Seattle Reign FC. If this holds up, it'll be twice now in 5 matches. They got beat 3-2 on a Kristen Press goal in stoppage time in Chicago a couple weeks back.
Well, let's not count the point yet. Seattle's still pressing to try to walk at it with a 3-point. They are playing a player down as Jess Fishlock was sent off moments before the PK. And what we believe it might have been a send-off for a handball. On the line, Seattle chasing, stays out. Cutsall keeps it at 1-1.
Laura Harvey had her hands up. I think she wanted the penalty.
Straight
returned.
PKs, right? Amber Brooks.
The fourth official indicated a minimum of 5 minutes have been added to the second half. 5 minutes.
5 minutes of stoppage time. So assuming that happened,
During the time
that includes the part of when the red card and the penalty was called in the conversations, that gives us about 3 minutes to go. But there could be more if that 5-minute number was.
Yeah, we could be here till the 78th, 98th, 8th minute. You never know what refs are doing. Ball in. DeCesar, flicker. Over to Nadim. Collect him, Nadim. She plays it to Friels. Friels looking for help. Friels fouled by Amber Brooks.
And it's amazing, after 2 games not scoring, all of a sudden one goes in, and look at how much energy Sky Blue has now.
Yeah,
and
Sky Blue's hungry. They want to walk out with 3 points. They're not satisfied with the draw.
And playing 11v10 is not always such an advantage, especially over 3 or 4 minutes. But if Jess Fishlock is the player that comes out, she's so active in midfield, there figures to be a lot more space.
Killian puts it in. A lot of challenge, a lot of space. Kottmeyer punches it out. Kim Little with ball. Sliding tackle attempt by Friels as fails. Maya Hayes is trying to chase her down. Got a head of steam in front of her. Taken down. Laura Harvey is actually on the pitch right now. Wants a PK. No PK awarded. Goal kick for Sky Blue. We are now into about the 94th minute. Cameron puts it in. So still got about a minute some change. Depending on the referee, if the referee adds any extra time for the PK. Kaylin Winters plays it over to Noguera. Fouled from behind. It's going to be a very threatening free kick for Seattle. This game definitely has a lot of drama. I would not be surprised if either team could get a goal in the next minute.
Not a lot happened in the first hour, 75 minutes, but the last quarter hour here has been jam-packed.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Sky Blue fans holding their breath right now. Same with Seattle fans back in Seattle, because the game could go any way. Sky Blue's trying to hold 18. Amber Brooks is deep near the PK spot. So they're looking to connect maybe with Amber Brooks. She's pointing to the PK spot area. Played in. Meg Morse heads it out. Played back. Played wide over to Ellie Reed. She's in chase. And there's the final whistle. We have a 1-1 draw with Seattle Reign and Sky Blue. Sky Blue snaps their losing streak at 2. Back into points. Definitely a good result. Not a great result, but a good result for Sky Blue.
Well, 2 hours ago, they probably would have said that they wanted to get 3 points and win the game. 10 minutes ago, they would have been just satisfied with the extra goal to make it 1-1 and pick up the 1 point. So still work to do for Sky Blue, but they were able to find a way to pull it out. They figured out a way to get that goal back after they went down 1-0.
Yeah, I see Laura Harvey jetting over to the referees, maybe have a discussion. So definitely a very interesting game to look back on.
It is. Sky Blue didn't have a lot of offense going in the first hour and a quarter or so. The Reign had a lot of possession, not a lot of great chances, and they actually scored off a half chance, if that. But Sky Blue, with a bunch of stick-to-itiveness, got a chance, crazy chance in the box, and wound up getting the goal on the penalty. Fishlock got sent off. So a fun ending to the game, 1-1 draw tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank all the production crew for doing a great job here. I want to thank Brittany Alvarado for doing our sideline reporting. I want to thank my partner here, Dan Laletta, has to put up with me for a couple hours. I'll probably give him a lot of gray hairs every week. But our next telecast will be May 31st. That's a Sunday at 3 o'clock when Sky Blue welcomes the Houston Dash, the team that they opened up the season with at home. So we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thanks a lot, Dan, for doing all your hard work. This man knows what he's doing.
It's been a pleasure, Charlie.